What is going on, guys? Jack here and welcome to episode 2 of the FM experiment, the future of domestic football. So last episode I just gave you a brief introduction to this series, what I was planning. You guys are absolutely amazing on that video. I think it stands at like 70 odd likes and a record number of comments for one of my videos. Yeah, absolutely crazy stuff. Massive thank you if you did watch that last video, if you did leave a comment, if you did leave a like, even if you just watched 10 seconds of it, it really is appreciated, guys. But anyway, today we are back and we are here doing the review for the first season of the domestic experiment. If you don't know what this is, I've loaded up the LFCMarshall database and we're basically going to see what's going on in major world football. So we'll start off with England. Who won the league? Okay, United won the league. They won by 1 point over Man City and Liverpool came third. So, interesting stuff there. If I go to the Premier League and then transfers, biggest transfers of this window. Okay, we have Cavani going to Arsenal. Eugene Konopelaka, I don't know, I've never even heard of you. David Moyes decided he wanted to buy a random Ukrainian. Zisco went to Man City. Lewandowski went to Chelsea. Leighton Baines went to Tottenham. Farfan to Man U. Fellaini to PSG. Pedro to Chelsea. I mean, you guys can read all these. You can always pause it. So we have some pretty big transfers going on in England. Obviously, Man U winning the league for the second year in a row now. If we look at player stats, let's have a look at who's been playing well. Gerrard has the most appearances. He made every game, as did a few other players, including Berbatov. Top goal scorer was Stephen Fletcher for Sunderland, followed by Lewandowski, Crouch, Cavani and Suarez. So Suarez staying at Liverpool. On the assists, Leighton Baines getting 18 for Tottenham. Where was he playing for them is what I'm wondering, if off those stats. Played left back and got 18. That's crazy. 18 assists. Well, Leighton Baines, guys, if you need an assisting beast, he's your man. Other players to feature: Cazorla with 14 assists, Jack Wilshere as well, and Liam Britton. Shots on target ratio, Theo Walcott. Man of the matches: Sergio Aguero, Alaba there for Man City, getting on it. In terms of yellow cards, Luis Suarez up there on the yellow cards. What a don. Red cards, Alan Hutton getting on there, and then a few other players on too. Distance covered record was by Alexander Tetti, the Norwegian monster from Norwich. So some interesting stats there. Stephen Fletcher with most goals stands out. A few big transfers on that front. So guys, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to just cover every major league like this, and then I'm going to go over your specific requests that you made in the last video, and then we'll finish off looking at the Champions League. So here we have PSG won the La Liga, or League One crown even. I get La Liga and League One muddled up so much. On the transfers front, biggest transfers, Yarmolenko went to Monaco. We have I can't even say Fellaini's name anymore. That's like an easy name. Oh God, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang went from Saint Etienne to Liverpool. Wilfred Boney went to AS Monaco. A few big transfers here. Not going to cover them all in too much detail, but Monaco making a lot of transfers, as you'd expect. A lot of big money being thrown around by them in the first year. Okay, so that was League One. Player stats just really quickly. I'm not very familiar with the French league, so it doesn't really mean a lot to me, and I can't actually look at last season's stats, so that goes out the window. I'm sorry guys if you're from France and you wanted to know more, but we can't cover it. And the same with the Bundesliga, damn it. Oh, okay, so stages last year, Dortmund won the league and Bayern finished 5th. Wow. Wolfsburg finishing 11th for the person who asked. We'll have a quick look at their transfers and stuff. I've got a list and I'm going to try and cover everything that people have asked, although I'm not really going in a methodical order about it. So Wolfsburg here for the person who was wondering. There's your transfers. I do not recognise any of those names. You might do. I doubt it. I suppose you'll notice the outs, but there you go. They were the transfers of Wolfsburg. So Dortmund winning the league. They actually won really convincingly as well, by 13 points. So good little kind of season for them. Looking at the stats, I wish I could see the stats from the previous year, but I don't feel like there's a way I can do that, unfortunately. In terms of the transfers, Lewandowski obviously going to Chelsea. A lot of the players going to elsewhere in Europe, of the big ones. Ribéry going to Real Madrid. That's a pretty big transfer. Bayern sold a lot of players, and that looks like that was their main kind of downfall this year and why they struggled. Obviously, Guardiola is still in charge of them, so he still has his job. But you can see they sold some big names there, and Ribéry, Alaba and Bastuba, but then they didn't really bring in anyone to fill the gaps that they left when they sold their players. So Bayern, they're struggling. Dortmund won the league. Dortmund, so 3 titles in a row now for them on this, because of course, if you don't know, this database, you can't change the year that the database starts. So although this is set in the coming season, the season actually starts in 2012, if that makes sense. So World Cup year is coming up, so I will review the World Cup next episode, if that makes sense. But looking at their squad, they've got Jovetic, who I'm guessing has been big for them. He got 12 goals in 25 appearances for them, so he was a big transfer, probably one of the main reasons for them doing well. So, interesting to see that. Moving on to... Did I say I'd cover Holland? I don't think I said I'd cover Holland. I will show the table in case someone is curious. In Serie A, we have Juve winning the title by 1 point over Inter Milan. AC Milan finishing third, of course. Looking at the player stats, which I can check for this league, we have Asamoah getting the highest average rating of 7.64. Is that right? That is right, okay. Top goal scorer was Fernando Llorente, made his transfer from Spain, it would appear, and 25 goals in 35 games is pretty crazy stats by him. Melito getting on there as well for Inter. And Pisani as well, another familiar name, and Gilardino as well, grabbing a load of goals there. And he was actually on loan that year when he scored 18, so that's pretty impressive. On the assist front, Juve obviously finished top of the league. You'd expect them to have the most assists. Maybe a bit kind of curious to see Leonardo Bonucci being top on the assists from centre back, but stranger things have probably happened. Nocerino, De Rossi, Vucinic, all players that you kind of expect to see on there. Pretty interesting stuff. Bolt's already getting joint most man of the matches with Biang, who's an average player. He has a beautiful smile. That sounded so weird, Jack. You're weird. You're weird, Jack. Okay, so there's those stats. Just a quick look at the transfers. Cavani out, Jovetic out, Hernandez out, Adriano in. You can see here they sold a lot of players this year. So yeah, that was that on that front. Let's move on to the next and final league, which is Spain. So in Spain, Real Madrid won the league here. Who became the Real Madrid manager? Okay, Carlo Ancelotti became manager for them. Barcelona still have Villanova in charge. Interesting stuff. Transfers for the league I want. That's here. Zisco out. You see, a lot of players went out, and then the only real team to bring in players was Real Madrid. I mean, you can't even see Barcelona in this list. Barcelona just didn't bring anyone in. It looks like they sold a few players as well, looking at it. So that's probably the reason for their downfall. Obviously, Ribéry, who we've already covered, coming in. No, not any real massive transfers, if I'm honest. Jordi Gomez coming to Sociedad. I don't really think that constitutes a massive transfer, but you can see them there. Having a look at the player stats, highest average rating was Messi with an 8.4, Iniesta, and then PK, so making the top 3, and then Modric and Ronaldo for Real Madrid coming 4th and 5th. In terms of goals, Cristiano Ronaldo outscored Messi and Modric out-assisted Iniesta. Really shows where Barcelona lost it. But I mean, Barcelona and Real dominating a number of these kind of leaderboards, as you'd expect. Most of the matches for Iniesta and Messi sharing them. yeah, pretty crazy stuff, to be honest. A few surprises there. I kind of thought Barcelona would win the league. Where did Monaco finish here last year? That's another thing I'm kind of curious that I didn't really notice. Monaco finished third. So I guess you'd kind of expect PSG and other people to get it right. And I actually know who's won the Champions League. I checked the league and stuff just to make sure, like, see if anyone got it right. So here's the moment of truth. Did anyone get the predictions right for the first season? Because, of course, I said last episode, leave your prediction down below for the winners of the league. So if you've predicted all the winners of the league, did you predict the winner of the Champions League? And the winner was AC Milan. And I can actually tell you from checking the comments, no one said AC Milan for the Champions League, which is kind of a surprise. I didn't really expect them to win it, so unfortunately there's no winners this time, so no one gets their name to pop up in the video. But the same applies this year. Down below I'll have the template in the description. Basically, if you don't know, fill out the winners that you think are going to win the coming up season, and then who's going to win the Champions League. It's all simple, just fill it out, leave it as a comment, and if you get it right, you'll appear up on screen somewhere during the video and get your moment in the spotlight. But no one got it this time because AC Milan screwed it up for a load of people. So I want to say well done AC Milan, but I kind of feel bad that no one got their name up. I know a few people got very close. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to specific requests. Quick little heads up is, guys, that I didn't have anything below the Championship added in England, and I need to show the Championship in England first. But I will be adding League 1 and League 2 for the next season, so they should all come up for you, I think. Actually, I need to think about that because it might break history. Okay, well, I'll work something out, guys. Anyway, first things first, someone wanted me to check on Wolves. So, where are Wolves? They'd be in League 1. League 1, Wolves won the league, for the person wondering. Their transfers were, as you can see here, Ebanks Blake in on a free. Thomas Carroll in. You can see them here. You can pause the video, you can have a look. You won the league, though, that's the main thing. Kenny Jackett doing job there at Wolves. Obviously, he's a new appointment, so according to FM, he will see them straight back up. Sheffield United won the playoffs as well, so good to see them back in the Championship. Someone asked me to check on Wonder Kids, and then they said it in particular Admilson, so we will check Admilson for you, sir. Sorry about my loud typing. Okay, you've given me a guy's name, but the Wonder Kid doesn't exist apparently, unless he's this 38-year-old monstrosity of a man. I don't know. I will check some Wonder Kids in future episodes because I'm kind of curious to see who becomes the best players in the world. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Portsmouth. Someone wants me to check. I can't even spell Port. We'll go with that. It'll come up. Portsmouth here. Where did Pompey finish last year? They finished 22nd in the Championship, but where are they in the league this year? That is the question. I can't check, can I? I can't check because the league's not added. You see, this is the problem. I do everything in one take and it's just not there. I can tell you guys, they won the playoffs, actually. Well, that worked out well, didn't it? They won the playoffs, so they'll be in League 1 next year. So I know there was a few people who asked how Portsmouth got on. They sold a load of players and didn't bring anyone in, but they still got promoted. Someone asked for the global transfers and global award winners. So for that, I'll go on the world overview. You can see some of the stuff on here, but I'm guessing you want to see individual players and stuff. So if I go on award winners, this year's winners for the World Golden Ball Award went to Messi, surprise, surprise, followed by Ronaldo and Iniesta getting third. World Player of the Year was Messi, and then the same order. That makes no sense. And Team of the Year, right here for you. Hazard, Mata, Ronaldo, Messi, Iniesta, Van der Vaart. You can see it all. There's kind of a few surprises in there. I'm kind of surprised Van der Vaart getting in, but he snuck in somehow. Leighton Baines got in at left back as well in the World 11, and Rio Ferdinand had a good year as well apparently for Manchester United. So yeah, he had 24 appearances, an average of 7.58. Okay, someone wanted me to check MK Dons. As I said, I can't check that because they're in the lower leagues, but I know they didn't get promoted this year. Someone wanted me to look at Man United. We'll have a look at Man U. Let's see what Man U did this year. David Moyes still in charge, obviously. They won the league this year. Looking at the general information, media prediction was second. Their full transfers are here. You can see they brought in Kabai, Farfan and Eugene, long Ukrainian name person. Spent £85 million. Quite a lot spent. Not too many massive sales out either. Nani for 12 million and Anderson for 9 million, the two that stand out to me. Someone wanted me to look at Feyenoord, so I appreciate people aren't going to be interested in all of this stuff, but I'm just kind of fulfilling a request that people ask, and who knows, maybe there'll be some random bit of trivia or something that we find along the way. So Feyenoord here, they finished second, is that right? I don't know. How do I check the league? Let's have a look at the league. Oh, okay, they finished fourth this year, behind NEC and Groningen. Yeah, and PSV finished fifth. I thought PSV were good in the league. Apparently they're not. Apparently they're terrible. Looking at the transfer centre, you can see it here. None of these names mean anything to me, but someone asked for them, so we will deliver. I'll tell you what, that Juna Toivio, that is one hell of a first name. I'm going to call my kid Juna. Okay, next person, Madrid and Bayern. I have covered them for you. Everton. Someone wanted to know how Roberto Martinez did at Everton, which is kind of a curious request, but I'm here to deliver. So Everton finished seventh, and I never actually talked about who went down in the Premier League here. So West Brom, Norwich and Crystal Palace going down. So Crystal Palace didn't kind of stick it out, but Cardiff and Hull, the two new teams, stayed up, which is kind of cool to see. So looking at Everton, they finished ninth. Let's have a look at their overview of their play. I don't know how to check their formation. Didn't think about this, Jack. So I can see how they lined up. Is there a way? I don't think there is, unfortunately. Well, that's lame. If there is, can someone let me know? Because I would kind of like to check some teams' stats individually and stuff. If I hit view squad, actually, I can see that they were playing a 4-2-3-1. On the sidings, well, they have Damien Duff there, so you know they've spent smart. On the history, you can see their signings here. A few big players there. You know, Steve Sidwell, he's not really a big player, but I recognise his name. David Vaughan and Martin Olsen. On the outs, obviously a few outs. Leighton Baines and Fellaini, the big two, going out for a combined total of 48 million. So yeah, that's Everton stuff. Someone wanted to see how Cardiff got on. If you have any suggestions, guys, obviously this is the first episode, but if you have any suggestions for how I can kind of present these kind of episodes and videos and stuff, let me know, because obviously, new series, I'm still getting to grips with the best way to display everything, but it's kind of cool just flicking around teams, seeing how kind of teams that people wanted to see in specific detail got on. Okay, so Cardiff City here, they're playing a 4-4-2. Malky Mackay is still their manager. On the transfer front, they've got in the big old Kevin Phillips. Only spent 3.3 million and sold 1.7 million pounds worth of players. And then this year they finished 15th, so not a bad season by Cardiff standards, but maybe they'll be looking for better next year. Next is Norwich. Someone wanted to know how Van Wolfswinkel got on. Looking here, Zola is now their manager, which, wow, okay. So, Chris Hughton out, Zola in. Bit of a change going on there, I suppose. Someone wanted to know how Ricky Van Wolfswinkel would get on. He's transfer listed by request. You can see his stats here. He scored 12 goals in 29 games for them. Obviously, he is an actual transfer going to Norwich, so could be interesting to see if he can do better than that and keep the Canaries up next year, because obviously they've gone down this year. Looking at it, it was really close at the bottom, and Hoofball Stoke almost went down. The last request I have on my sheet of paper is how did Watford get on? I can tell you, person who asked, that they finished 16th. Dougie Freeman, manager. Still got Fitzhall as a player. On the transfer front, they have a few changes in, obviously. Some more loans from Udinese. Only spent just under £1 million on players. And then sold a number of players as well, including the big old Darius Vassell, who's now playing for Bournemouth. What a beast. But no, they're your changes. As you can see, not a lot really happening. Who is Watford's new manager? Oh, I already said Dougie Freeman's their new manager. Well done, Jack. So yeah, guys, that was the kind of review for this first episode of kind of the years and looking at the future. As I said, if you've got any suggestions for how I can better format this so it kind of works better as a video, let me know down below. Same as last episode, fill out a form if you want to have a go at the kind of sweepstakes thing where we predict the league winners. If you've got any specific requests for stuff you'd like to see next episode team-wise, or maybe there's an observation that I missed that maybe other people will miss in the video and you're noticing particularly odd, leave it down below and I will reply and apologise profusely for missing that in the video. But other than that, guys, it is me, Jack. If you've enjoyed the video, as always, give it a like, leave a comment as I said, and other than that, I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.